A girl disappeared in Japan, 1967. Recently, I found her diary, and it tells a horrifying story. I work at a public bathhouse in a small town in Japan, doing housekeeping and cashier shifts mostly. It's a quiet place, with most of our visitors being retired, and aside from a few accidents a year, nothing serious, mind you, things run pretty smoothly. It's a stress-free job, which fits me well since I don't like to find myself outside of my comfort zone very often. About a week ago, though, something out of the ordinary happened. When cleaning the dressing rooms, I found a diary underneath a bench. It had belonged to a teenage girl, which was odd enough since most of the kids used the bathhouse adjoined to the school, but it wasn't until I opened it that I truly realized what a strange finding it was. Below, I've transcribed and translated the part of the journal that stands out from what can be considered normal and which points to a fate, maybe even worse than death. January 24th, 1967. I woke up early this morning feeling a bit restless. I got out of bed and went to the kitchen, where I found my mom. We started arguing almost immediately. She doesn't understand me, and I can't stand living under her roof. We were both shouting by the end of it. I stormed out of the house and went to find Kimura. I told her about the fight with my mom, and she suggested that we go to the public bath tomorrow. I immediately agreed. It sounds like exactly what I need. I'm also going to invite some of our other friends to make it even more fun. January 25th, 1967. I was getting dressed in the locker room after spending the day in the public bath with my friends. Suddenly, it became eerily silent and I noticed I was all alone. Upon leaving the locker room, I noticed the environment was different. The blue tiles of the bathhouse were now red, with black between them. I saw no one around, and the only sound was the soft lap of water against the tiles. This was definitely not the same bathhouse I had entered just hours ago. I don't know how long I stood there trying to understand what had happened. Had I somehow been transported to another building? Or was this some kind of dream? I pinched myself to see if that would wake me up, but it had no effect. I was really starting to freak out now. I decided to go and explore for a bit to see if I could find any clues as to what was going on. This place was much larger than the bathhouse I remembered, and there seemed to be an endless row of pools. I called out for help, but my voice echoed back to me, unanswered. I don't know how long I've been here exactly, or what's going on, but I'm starting to think I may never find my way back home. The only light comes from large, dim lamps in the ceiling. There are no windows. Some corridors extend into complete darkness. I haven't dared venture too far into them. There's something dreadful about them. I'm starting to lose hope. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe I died in the bathhouse and this is some sort of afterlife. Or maybe I'm just dreaming. I don't know anymore. All I know is that I'm alone in this strange place and I have no idea what to do. I'm hoarse from yelling, and my throat aches from the effort. I'm so tired. I think I'll just rest here for a while. Maybe something will come to me in a dream. January 26th, 1967. I'm still here. I haven't found any way out. I'm starting to despair. I've been exploring more of the place. It's huge. There must be thousands of pools. There's not a living soul to be seen. Just me, all alone. I'm starting to feel like I'm going mad. Yesterday I could have sworn I saw someone in one of the baths, but when I got closer there was no one there. I'm so tired. I can't keep going like this. I need to find a way out. January 27th, 1967. The water in the pools is still and stagnant. It's dark, and here and there the surface shimmers as if covered in a thin layer of oil. It's like something from a nightmare. I can't bring myself to even touch it, let alone drink it. I've been walking for hours, and I still can't find a way out. This place is like a labyrinth. I'm so thirsty, but I dare not drink the water. I don't know what's in it. I'm starting to feel weak. I need food and water, or I'm going to die here. I don't know how much longer I can last. January 28th, 1967. I found a tap today. It was in one of the many empty locker rooms I've stumbled upon, and it looked like it had running water. I was so thirsty I didn't care if it was safe or not. I drank and drank until my stomach felt like bursting. The water was rusty and had an odd taste to it, but I didn't care. I needed water, and this was the only thing I'd found. I rested for a while after I'd drunk my fill, and then I started exploring again. I still can't find any way out, but at least I'm not thirsty anymore. January 30th, 1967. I was starting to feel really weak, and I knew I needed to find food soon or I wouldn't make it. I had just about given up hope when I stumbled upon a larger room with arches and stairs, all covered in the same red and black as everything else. It reminded me of a cathedral, but it was much more sinister. There was something about it that made my skin crawl. I was about to turn and leave when I saw something that made my heart stop. Lying on the ground, half hidden in the shadows, was a body. I approached cautiously, not knowing what to expect. It was a man, and he was dead. There was no sign of violence, but his eyes were wide open and staring, and his face was contorted in a look of terror. I don't know what happened to him, but I know I don't want to stick around to find out. I need to get out of here. January 31st, 1967. I'm starting to feel really ill. I think the water I drank was poisoned. I've been vomiting and having a terrible headache. I need to find help soon, or I'm going to die. I managed to drag myself to my feet and stumble around for a while longer, but I didn't find anything. I'm so thirsty, but I still dare not to drink any more of the water. I don't know what's in it. I'm starting to see things now. I see people in the baths, but when I get closer, they disappear. I hear voices, but when I try to follow them, they fade away. I'm losing my mind. February 1st, 1967. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. I'm so thirsty, and I'm still seeing things that aren't there. Small movements in the corner of my eyes. I'm hallucinating now. Right? I'm so tired. I think I'm gonna lie down and rest for a while. Maybe things will make more sense when I wake up. February 11th, 1967. I was stumbling around in the weak light, barely able to keep myself upright. I'd been walking for hours, and I was starting to think I was going in circles. I was so thirsty, and my head was spinning. I saw a pool ahead of me, and I staggered toward it. It was darker than the others, and it looked like it descended into the depths of the earth. I lay down at the edge of the pool and leaned over. I tried to see the bottom, but it was too deep. I lay there for a while, too weak to move. I must have drifted off to sleep because the next thing I knew, I was awake and something was moving in the water. I saw a large, dark shape circling in the depths. It filled me with terror. As it moved closer and closer to the surface, I ran across the room to get away. I don't know what that thing was, but I never want to see it again. February 14th, 1967. The red color of the tiles is making me dizzy and nauseous. It reminds me of blood. I can't take it anymore. I need to get out of here. Wherever I go, there's just more pools and more corridors. They all look the same, and they're all filled with that stagnant, undrinkable water. February 16th, 1967. I'm so thirsty. I'm gonna drink the water, no matter how dangerous it is. I cut my hands and filled it with water from one of the pools and drank. It was disgusting, but I was so thirsty I didn't care. Almost immediately I felt sick. My stomach cramped for hours. I lay on the ground, too weak to move. I think this is it. I'm going to die here. February 18th, 1967. I've been thinking about the dead body I saw earlier. I keep wondering who he was and how he died. Was he poisoned by the water like me, or did something else kill him? I'm so tired. I can't keep my eyes open anymore. I'm going to rest for a while. February 20th, 1967. I can't believe it's been almost a month since I first arrived in this place. It feels like a lifetime. I'm so weak I can barely move. I'm sure I'm gonna die soon. I don't know why I'm still holding on. Maybe it's because I refuse to believe this is the end. I keep hoping that someone will find me, but I know that's unlikely. February 25th, 1967. It was my birthday today. I'm now 17. I should be out with my friends, celebrating. Instead, I'm alone in this nightmare. I miss Mom, too. I know she would have baked me a cake and sung happy birthday to me. Maybe this is hell, and this is my punishment for all the times I was a bratty teenager. If so, I deserve it. I should have been so much nicer to her. March 3rd, 1967. I'm getting weaker and weaker. I can barely move anymore. I've been lying in the same spot for days. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. March 5th, 1967. I was lying underneath the pale light, too weak to move. I thought I was going to die there and then. Then I heard something moving in the distance, getting closer and closer. It sounded like something big and heavy, dragging itself across the floor. I was filled with terror, and I forced myself to my feet. I stumbled across the room, and then I was running as fast as I could. I don't know what it was, but I know I don't want to meet it. March 10th, 1967. I've been walking for hours, as usual, and I still can't find a way out. Everything looks familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. I've gone upstairs and down, across pedways and through corridors. Everything looks the same. It's all just a blur of red and black. I'm trying to build up the courage to dive into one of the deep pools, the ones with no bottom in sight. Perhaps that's the way out. But what if there's another creature like the one from before? March 12th, 1967. I can't stop thinking about the thing that was haunting me. I can't shake the feeling that it's still out there, looking for me. How am I still alive? I haven't eaten for more than a month. It isn't natural. It's like this place is playing with me, toying with me. I'm getting weaker and weaker. It's only a matter of time before that thing catches up to me. The sound of the water, the lapping against the tiles, and the dripping from the ceiling. It all sounds like footsteps. There's something coming after me. March 17th, 1967. I found a newspaper on the ground yesterday. It was partly burned. I didn't recognize the language, but I could see when it was printed. September 5th, 2005. The images were strangely colorful, more vivid than anything I've ever seen on a piece of paper. They showed people in clothes I'd never seen, smiling and happy. I stared at the paper for a long time, trying to understand what I was looking at. It must be from the future, but how did it get here? How did I get here? March 20th, 1967. I'm so thirsty. I've been walking for days. I know I won't make it much farther. I've been thinking about the thing I heard. I keep wondering if it's still out there, hunting me. March 21st, 1967. I'm not sure what's real anymore. I keep seeing things that aren't there. Yesterday I saw my mom. She was standing in front of me, smiling. But when I tried to reach out to her, she faded away. I know I'm going crazy. March 23rd, 1967. I saw my mom again today. She was standing in front of me, smiling and holding out her arms. I tried to reach out to her, but she disappeared into thin air. I miss her so much. I wish I could just go home. March 25th, 1967. I heard that dreadful thing coming for me again, just a few rooms behind me. This time it screeched too. I'm so tired. I can't keep running. I'm going to jump into one of the deep pools and dive into the darkness. Maybe this is the way out all along. I'm leaving the diary here. It would be ruined by the water anyway. I hope someone finds it and can make sense of what happened to me. I'm so scared, but I'm also so tired. I just want this to be over. I don't know what's down there, but it can't be worse than what's chasing me. I'm sorry, Mom. I wish I could have said goodbye. What makes this so unsettling is that at the beginning of 1967, a young girl went missing in our otherwise peaceful town, and the last place anyone ever saw her was here, at the establishment where I work. I hope she got out, somehow, maybe in the distant past or future, and that it wasn't all just everlasting darkness that awaited her at the bottom of that pool.